Last Minute Man coming to you from the studio. I'm with my good buddy, Mr. Obvious. And Mr. Obvious, what are we talking about today?
Oh, we got a few good things. Talking about the SHOT Shows coming up and other things that might be happening in the future.
Yeah, some current and future events and what we're seeing at SHOT Show. We just wanted to kind of have a little discussion today. You might be able to hear, because we're in a steel building. So you might be able to hear, it is pouring the rain out there right now. So Mr. Obvious and I got together and we were, praying for lack of rain, but we're getting washed out. So I guess we needed it. But that doesn't mean we can be short-winded. We're going to be long-winded today and kind of just talk about things. So, SHOT Show. Really interesting things I've been seeing. Now, I haven't been there myself. I'm not allowed back in Vegas anymore. But yeah, haven't been there myself. But yeah, just watching on the YouTube what a lot of these guys are showing. Iraq Veteran 8888 and some of these other guys get really good access to these firearms. And there's one company in particular that I'm very impressed with, and that's Palmetto State Armory. They seem to be coming out with a lot of innovative stuff. And they've got a lot of good ideas out there. And I don't know, Mr. Obvious, did you watch that video I sent you?
Yeah, that was real good, real interesting.
Palmetto had a video where they're showing all the different platforms that they're starting to come out with.
Oh, yeah, I did see that one, yeah.
And they had the new 570 shotgun, I thought looked really cool, very modular design. And they had a few really cool things. I would recommend going to their website. And they've got a vote tab where you can vote on what they said we can't do it all. They're wanting to really focus their efforts on a few things. And, they're not necessarily known for being the top end ARs or anything like that. They're a middle of the road to, even to the more budget minded firearms. I'm going to get one and actually get a budget Palmetto State Armory AR-15 and get one of those, and we're gonna put it through its paces and compare it to some of these other ARs we have. We've got some very expensive platforms here going into more budget minded as well. But obviously the AK-47 is a budget minded firearm, but in this setup anyway, it's a Romanian. But yeah, I'd like to test out some of their stuff. Not that they need our endorsement, but I've seen a lot of good things about them, and I'm just tickled to actually see something that the everyday working man like myself can really afford and still have money left over to buy ammo to go to the range and actually practice. And I'm being long-winded here, but just kind of setting the stage here. I've seen a lot of very, very nice firearms, and I worked for a firearms manufacturer when I first got out of the military. They were nice enough to hire me, and I worked for them for a few years, and they weren't a very high quality firearms manufacturer, and they're located in northern Kentucky, so you could probably discern who that is. But they were trying to build budget friendly firearms, and I got to say their quality was not the best. And it looks like Palmetto State Armory has figured that out. They cracked the code. They got like the budget-minded stuff that seems to be reliable as far as everything that you hear.
Yeah, they seem to be everything fit. Nobody's having much problem with building them reasonable. What I hear.
Yeah, you're under $500 for a build.
AR. Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see that versus, true mil spec stuff and everything. But I think mostly what they produce is mil spec from what I've been reading. But we won't know till we get into it. Comment below what you'd like to see. But yeah, it will be a budget build that we're going to put together. And I'm wanting to keep it under $500. So if I've got, the way I want to kind of put this is, if I've got $1,000, am I better off to go buy a $1,000 AR-15, or am I better off to build a $500 one and buy $500 worth of ammo? Which for 193s right now, you're looking at roughly 48 to 50 cents a round is what I've been seeing them for. So, and that's as of today, and today is the 27th of January. So as of the 27th of January, I have seen them for 48 to 50 cents a round for 193s, which would be a good practice ammo. And I mean, it's a good everything ammo, really. I mean, people will argue different things, but I mean, if you're wanting to put something in your point and shooty over there and stop somebody, you know, they'll all poke holes in something, okay?
Yeah.
So,
You'll have to go to the doctor for sure.
yeah, you think? But, so there's that. And, yeah, I was looking at some of these, like Daniel Defense, who obviously makes high quality, top end stuff, but, you know, does it behoove you to spend $1,600 to $2,000 on a firearm if you can't afford the ammo to go out and shoot and practice with it? Yeah. Or if it's such a beauty queen that you're scared to scuff it? You know, because I've done that. I've got firearms and knives and things like that I've purchased, and I said, oh no, this is just too pretty. I don't want to scuff it up. I've got a Henry like that. Yeah. It's a 44 mag, and actually it was a gift from my father when I got out of basic training. He bought it for me. Yeah. But it was one of the octagon barrel, you know, Henry big boys. Yeah. And just a
pretty shiny,
beautiful firearm. The wood on it and everything is just top notch black walnut. It's just a beautiful firearm. So I've got this beautiful firearm that I don't want to scuff, you know, and it sits in the safe. You know, I pull it out at Christmas and show people, look at my pretty gun, you know. Yeah. And I'm going to be using it more. You know, it's like me and Mr. Obvious always say, you know, I'm not saving it for the next guy to enjoy it. You'll know I've been there, okay? Yeah. So that's what I kind of, you know, but I take care of things. I use it. I don't abuse it, you know, and that's something else. Mm-hmm. You'll watch some of these videos, like Mr. Obvious was saying, these burn down videos. And that's wonderful. I'm glad somebody's out there doing it. But because it's good to know, you know, if you've got the money to just burn one of those things up or the sponsorship to do so, it is nice to see what they can do. I mean, not that you could ever fire it in that kind of cadence in combat, you know, and that's something else. Under normal use, when I say normal use, if I was engaged in a 1 hour firefight, I'm not going to be shooting 1,000 rounds and loading it as fast as somebody can hand me the mag. No. You know, you're not going to be doing that. No. So, I mean, if you're in a normal, a real world environment, let's put it that way. And it's not normal, but any real world environment where something like that would be happening, like I've been in overseas, over in the Kunar province of Afghanistan, where we're having to make our guns talk, you know, and I'm firing, you know, and then that guy's making his talk, and we're doing that, kind of trying to back the enemy up. There's no way you're going to burn one of those down. And I don't think anything I've seen would really melt down under those circumstances, which is a testament to the AR-15 platform. And Mr. Eugene Stoner did a great job.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't gonna melt one of them down, even in combat, I don't think. You get them hot. Now you get them big 50 calibers or some of them 308 fully automatic machine
240
guns.
Bravo.
That's belt fed and stuff.
It has happened.
You can get them hot.
You're trained though. Like what we would do, we would say, "Die, mother, lover, die," and then you let off and you say it again. And then you die, mother, lover, die. You know, I'm censoring myself here. I'm self-censoring.
Yeah.
But that's the way we're trained. You know, you're on that thing and you're firing, and I use them a lot. I've been in those situations, and you do have to watch, you know, your barrel getting hot. But again, God willing, no one ever has to experience something like that. And we don't want to, I don't want to live in a world where, you know, it's good to have things that you think can handle that, but I don't even want to live in a world where that's a reality. And which brings us to our next topic there, Mr. Obvious. Yeah.
What might that be?
The new the Texas convoy thing going on.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're calling for people, run down to the border. Come on down.
No, dude, no.
No, nothing bad's going to happen there, you know. Calling all militias, go down to the border. Yeah, nothing bad could happen if you do that.
No, nothing bad could happen. You know, could it?
Hey, listen, and I'm not saying it's not a well-intentioned thing, because I believe it is. I believe it's well-intentioned. I think we do have a border crisis for sure. There is a serious problem at the border, and a lot of that is political. Fact check me if you want, but these are our opinions, and I will tell you what I have heard, and you fact check it and comment below if I am wrong on any of this. But imagine you've got a world where NATO and you've got the World Economic Forum and all these people funding groups of people to cross over 7 countries to come in through our southern border. We've got people coming from China. We got people coming from Somalia. You got people coming from South America, Central America,
Just all over.
coming through our southern border. Now, this very thing happened in Europe, okay, with the Muslim immigration and everything like that. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for people to want to be in America. I think it's my opinion, and maybe I'm biased, this is the greatest country on earth. The world pretty much sucks, and like Ted Nugent says, America sucks less because we do have freedom. And we have the ability to have our firearms and things like that. And we've got this social contract with each other that if I get up and do my job, you get up and do your job. We all want our children growing up in a safe environment. And rule of law is an important thing. It matters. But it's not being enforced now. There is currently, in my opinion, no rule of law. Do you have a border or not? Do you have a country or don't you? And when your borders are wide open,
You ain't got a country.
what's coming through? So I agree with the sentiment of wanting to go down there and protest what's happening with the federal government, the Supreme Court ruling that Texas isn't allowed to set up razor wire or Constantina wire is what it is on the border. I think it's absolutely asinine to think that a state cannot protect itself and that a country cannot defend itself. That's why we have the Second Amendment. That's why we have firearms, to protect ourselves from just anything that might come down the pipe. And when you've got a lot of people that are angry, and we are, right? I mean, I am. I don't know, Mr. Obvious. Are you angry about what's happening on the border?
Yeah,
It's upsetting.
I'm an old fart. Yeah, I'm pretty upset the way the Constitution's going right now. They're trying to bend it over backwards. So
It doesn't even seem like they're bending it; they're flat breaking it.
they're bending it to it's about to break.
Yeah.
To it's get a crack in it. They're trying to put a crack in it now, and so that's where it's going. But when you get so many different, problem is you get people from all these other countries like you're talking about.
Yeah.
Asia and just all across Africa. You got people from China even coming in here. You got people from everywhere coming in. Well, you got all these people. They're used to living in a country this way, that way, this way, this way. We live our way. Well, everybody ain't gonna be happy. You can satisfy some of the people some of the time, but you can't satisfy all the people all the time. Those people's going to be wanting this country run their way, and we're going to still be wanting our constitutional way, and everything, it's going to break down.
Well, and here's the deal with it. Why would you be fleeing a communist nation? Why would you be fleeing a socialist nation? You got what they call a socialism, Venezuela, which is really a communist regime. And they're fleeing that, and they're coming to the United States. Why are you fleeing Venezuela? Oh, well, poverty, right? Poverty. You can't afford anything. Well, what got you there? What led to that? But you're leaving because it doesn't work. There's never been a communist government ever work. Name me one. Name me one. Name me one that ever worked. China doesn't work. They had to grab a hold of some free market ideology in order for it to work, and I would argue that it still doesn't work. It's pretty damn evil, what they do to their people, and their people are so capitulated at this point, they don't know anything else. You've had multiple generations since the Second World War that have been raised in a totalitarian government. the sheer thought that you might be able to walk outside during the pandemic on your own was so scary to them that they welded people up in their buildings. You know, and they were able to do that because people didn't have their Second Amendment. They don't have that. They don't have the right of. They don't have the freedom of speech to say what they think, whether you agree with it or not. You may disagree with what I'm saying. That's fine. I have a right to say it. No, I don't have a right to have a call to action, a call to violence against somebody. That is a crime. You cannot do that. I cannot say, go harm these people over there. Okay? That is not freedom of speech. That's a conspiracy to commit murder. Okay, if you do that. Kind of like what Maxine Waters did. You know, who somehow never got prosecuted for that. If you see him in the grocery store, if you see him at the gas station, come on. You know, if that isn't hateful and evil and mean, I don't know what is. You know, and we allow ourselves to be dictated and ruled by I think, frankly, dumb people. You got one guy in Georgia who thought the island of Guam could flip over if it got too overpopulated.
Well, this is a island that at its widest level is 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level or smallest location, it's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
He looked that up.
Yeah.
He actually said that.
Yeah.
My fear is that the island will become so overpopulated that it could capsize or tip over. His exact words. That dude's an attorney. Thought islands float. I got a novel idea for you. Why don't we make a big sail and float that damn thing over by Hawaii?
Yeah.
Then it would be safer, wouldn't it? Oh God, these people are, and they're the elites.
Yeah.
And what's even worse is we're electing them. You know, that's the population is that dumb. There are people in population centers that are that stupid, and there's nothing you can't put your hands on it and fix it. People, you know, they get a vote too. So it's the lowest common denominator, I guess. So I say all that to say this. Sure, we're fired up. Sure, there's a lot of things in society, the least of which is the island flipping over. You know that. You know, but there's things in society that upset all of us. Okay, so when you have that sentiment and you've got that fire in your belly and you are angry about the way things are going on, and you're headed down to the southern border, you know, to protest and make your voice heard, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, what I did in the military was psychological operations. That was my job. Okay, if I'm looking at this from the perspective of the other side, the people who do want to collapse, at the border, what I would do is take infiltrated neo-Nazi groups, put them on a bus, send them down there, so the optics would be, because they control the media, it's state-run media now, folks, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, they're all state-run media, so they're going to go down there, and what optic do you think is going to be? They'll show you're happy and yeah man, protect the borders. All right, we stand with you, Abbott, and then you'll have your sign. Right behind you is going to be a group of neo-Nazis waving swastikas. What do you think is going to be the most memorable part of that whole ordeal?
Swastikas.
Yeah, it's going to be the neo-Nazis. You know, it's not, well, you don't know these people. And I was listening, God bless him. There was a Green Beret on a show that I watched, and he was trying to organize this whole thing up, and he said, well, you know, the objective of the Green Berets, you know, is a force multiplier, and he said this is what we do, counterinsurgency, and also we control the controllable things, just the little things, he said. Well, I can't think of anything more uncontrollable than a gaggle of angry people. Okay, it's a powder keg. Okay, so you've got people that are already angry. If anybody has a beer, okay, they're not going to be thinking rationally, okay? And then all it takes is a provocateur. Think of January 6th, what happened there. You had people with very good intentions, I believe. They wanted their voice heard. They thought the election had been stolen. And, you know, neither here nor there. That's your opinion on that. But it got manipulated and turned by some provocateurs. That's my opinion. They were provocateurs. I don't think they were there for the right reasons. I think they were there to provocateur. Now, whether that was government sanctioned or not, we don't know. I can tell you I've seen things like that personally and seen what we've done in places, or not we, but entities have done. And what I'm telling you is you are entering an uncontrollable environment. And don't let me tell you what to do. You do what you want to do. But if you're entering into that, look at it from the 1,000-foot view. Really look at it and look at what can happen and look at what those optics are. I don't think anything good can come of that.
Yep. You get around a group of people like that waving them swastikas, get away from them. Go way over yonder.
But that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, we went to Friendship, Indiana, and during the black powder shoot over there, and let me tell you, that is a family environment. Wonderful people, you know, 99.99% of anybody you meet, helpful, happy, friendly, just they're there, you know, a lot of people like to dress up in colonial uniforms. Me, you know, I like to LARP as a mountain man. So we go, we do that, we have a good time. Mr. Obvious and I and another buddy of ours was walking through a section of the place, and it was outside of the organized National Muzzleloader Rifle Association, and it was where there were a bunch of campers and a little makeshift flea market was set up. We're walking through. There was a booth of neo-Nazis recruiting.
Yeah.
We walked by it, and oh man, it burned me up as we were walking by. And I said, "Did you guys see that?" Because they were just talking like nothing was happening. I said, "You guys didn't see that?" And they're like, "What?" I was like, "There's a booth of they got like swastikas and Nazi stuff and then sign-up papers."
Yeah.
And they said, no. I said, well, we'll walk back by. Yeah. We turn around, then in about face walk back by. They said, I can't believe it. You know, I don't know how your family is. My family fought in World War II. You know, his dad fought in World War II. My grandfather fought in World War II. And they went there to kill and destroy Nazis. That's what you were there to do. These were evil people. You know, not to say everybody in the German military was a Nazi, but anybody who was a Nazi who hated the Jews and all that, pretty wicked. I mean, there's not much to salvage there as far as goodness goes. They were bad people, evil, and a lot of Americans, a lot of Russians died to rid the world of that pestilence. You know, British, just all the Allies. A lot of people died, and I think Russia suffered the most getting rid of these people. So for somebody, and it's beautiful that America, you can say whatever you want and think whatever you want. That turns my stomach seeing something like that, and I think everybody has that kind of visceral reaction to it. But they have a right to do it. Okay, that's part of this freedom thing that we have. You have a right to burn an American flag. I find it repulsive. You know, people doing that in protest, burning an American flag and protest I see as just repugnant, but you're allowed to do it. Okay, you have a freedom of speech, even speech we don't like. But guarantee you, those people will show up.
They'll be there.
They'll be there, whether it's orchestrated or not. They will show up. That is a powder keg, folks.
Yeah.
I don't see anything good coming.
I wouldn't go down there. I wouldn't want to see another incident like insurrection thing. You know,
Yeah.
Could it be possible? Yeah. I mean,
Well-
could they set something up? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, it might be
You know,
completely peaceful, and
It
maybe
might be completely. Who knows? But
I know if I was the enemy, it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
If I was the guy planning stuff over there, if I was on the other side and wanted open borders, I could change the optics of this real quick. And it only takes one person with a good idea and money.
Yeah, and it's over. Yeah. So
Yeah. And that's what they'll do.
Still,
Who do you think controls the mainstream media networks? Who do you think funds them? You know,
Yeah.
nobody watches CNN and MSNBC. Nobody watches that. You know, they don't have any ratings. How are they making money?
I don't know.
Yeah, you look at Tucker Carlson gets radically higher viewership. Joe Rogan is. I actually really enjoy watching Joe Rogan. It's a place where people kick around ideas, and he talks to some very brilliant people and some not so brilliant people that I would disagree with. But it's good to hear what everybody thinks, you know.
Yeah.
And you just don't have that in mainstream media. It is literally, guys, it's state-run. It's state-run media. That's what it is. And you know, you've got Anderson Cooper, who is a known CIA asset, you know, working for CNN, stuff like that. You know, say whatever you want, and this may get kicked off YouTube. If it does, check us out on Rumble. Now might be a good time to mention that. But yeah, guys, it's ladies and gents. You know, yeah, just be cautious, man. Anywhere you go, be cautious. Think before you do.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know, before you get this rah thing going, imagine where it could go, because that's what didn't happen on January 6th. Nobody looked at how bad this could be. So you might be saying to yourself, okay, then, there, last minute man, Mr. Obvious, what do we do then? You're telling us going to the border and protesting this and that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's something you can't control. There's too many unthinkable things that could happen. So let me give you something we could do.
Vote.
Well, there's that. But something you could do if you want to protest.
Yeah.
And I'm not the guy to do it. You know, I don't have 5 million people watching me. But if we could have a national, like, everybody who wants the border protected, we could say, this is certainly taxation without representation. We are paying taxes to the federal government to protect our borders. They are not doing it. So, I'm not going to go to work. If you don't have to do your job, I won't do my job. Now, I know it's easier said than done, and everybody's got bills and things like that, but hear me out on this. Let's take a week off. Let's take 2 weeks off. Let's go on strike. Don't go to the grocery store. Don't buy gas. Don't buy anything that requires tax. Okay? And I would say people need to prep up, and we need to pick a date and do this. But if somebody who's bigger than me, if anybody watching knows somebody who knows somebody, or can actually get a message like this out, I think that would work. If everybody, imagine if all your bus drivers that agree with us just didn't show up to work. They took their vacation week. You know, took a week off. You know, police officers took off. You know, the guys running your railroad all took off. Of course, that's a felony if you work for the railroad. You can't strike.
No.
But you get what I'm saying. You get where I'm going with this. Your teachers, your bus drivers, your subway employees, your
Everyday workers.
just everyday worker, construction worker. You know, you work at the Walmart. You take off. Let's shut this place down for a week and see what happens. Say taxation without representation. We're getting taxed. We're under a social contract that all of us agree with, and that is the Constitution. That is the contract with the people. And you're violating it. The federal government's not doing their part.
No.
This is taxation without representation. We're living it.
I think for every dollar that is spent overseas, match it dollar per dollar and put back in the Social Security fund.
Wouldn't that be a great law?
That ought to be
Yeah.
that. People need to spread that word. Put it on X everywhere.
So there's things we can do. Like I said, if you hurt their pocketbook, that hurts them more than going down there and waving a flag.
Yep.
Y'all. And, if we all just say, we're not playing anymore. I quit, Now, I don't know what situation you're in. I'm not saying everybody's sure. So you got to pay your bills and stuff, and I understand that. But if you can, boy, guys, if we just had 600,000 people do it, that'd make a dent. It would make a dent. It would catch people's attention. And I ain't saying you got to go do sit-ins and stuff like that, but maybe we should. Maybe you go to like here in Kentucky, where we have one of the governors that aren't backing Abbott, because Kentucky, shame on us, listen to the teachers unions and stuff, and backed Bashir, who is an absolute, guys, could you pick a bigger fairy to be run stuff? That's not a man. That's a fairy. And that's what we need to start calling it out. When you got the little Weasley looking guys that never had a callus in their hands, never did anything, and they're running the show, and God bless him. I don't think he's an evil man, but I think he's a little bit of a bitch. And I do believe that.
Don't hire a lawyer. Hire nothing like hire a good, strong working man or ex-military.
It's like they say, soft man make hard time. Hard time make hard man. Hard man make soft time. Soft time make soft man. There we go.
Yeah.
So, and it's the cycle. And we happen to be in the soft man cycle.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, especially when they're trying to tell you there's more than two genders. Folks, dig somebody up from 1,500 years ago. You can check their DNA. They've either got two X chromosomes or an XY chromosome. We know what they are. Okay. No such a thing. So anyway, so all this stuff, like I said, the vitriol, this is what gets us all fired up, and it's what they want.
Oh, yeah.
And when I say they, who's they? The World Economic Forum, the globalists, people that want a one world government. When they say we have a real shot at this new world order, when they're saying things like that ought to make the hair on your arm stand up, and if it doesn't, check your pulse.
Yeah, they need to get out of that UN too or something. That's messed up.
It's a
A
cabal.
lot of this.
Or a cabal. It's a cabal. All this, it's all set up against us, and people are waking up. We've been what they call red pilled.
Yeah.
We're waking up out of the matrix, and you got to vote, like you said. You got to vote, but also vote with your dollar. But that's the world we live in, though, folks. And you really got to think optics are everything, and it is an information war, and it is a psychological war. And they want us. And I've already explained what that is. The powers that be want us to be at each other's throats, and they want us to fight internally because no one can bring down the United States. It's too strong, too powerful. We're so far advanced. Okay, trust me, if they could, they would. If China could invade the continental U.S., they'd do it.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be invading Taiwan if they thought they could get away with it. They just know we'll protect Taiwan because that's one of our interests.
The only way the United States could fall, I'd say, is within.
It was Aristotle who said, if you want to destroy a nation, first destroy the family. If you take out the family unit, you'll destroy a nation. And we have effectively done that. And I'm not going to that's a whole nother rabbit hole we could jump down.
Yeah.
But I think you kind of see where we're getting with this. And, it's not really a tirade. It's a warning, folks. If you're going to this stuff, just be prepared. Keep your eyes peeled. And when you see dumb things, get out of there, And I understand you want your voice to be heard. But my opinion, the best protest we can do is a strike. We go on a workers' strike because taxation without representation, I'm not going to have you collect any taxes. I'm not shopping at your grocery stores. I'm not shopping, and I know that's hard for I understand. You're saying, well, what am I going to do? Starve? We need some organization. And we need some people to say, okay, everybody stockpile this, this, and this, you know, and then we're going to take 2 weeks off or a week. I'm telling you, if just 600,000 people did it, it would make a massive dent.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. People stand together, you can get attention.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to take.
United we stand, divided we fall.
There you go. That's a motto of a state.
Yep.
You know which state that is?
Who stated that?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
That's the motto of Kentucky.
Yep.
That's on our state flag. United we stand, divided we fall.
Yep.
But
That's the fact.
it is what it is, folks. We don't have a perfect system. It's dirty in ways. But we went on a little tirade here. But you know, I think we'll wrap it up. We kind of spoke our piece, and I wanted to get that out there. You know, just be careful if you're going to that. It could be another January 6th. We don't want that. You know, keep your eyes peeled on things, folks, and let me know what you think about that protest that I mentioned, and just everybody taking a week off or something, and stand in solidarity that way. And again, it's a guy like me isn't going to do it. This is my way of getting it out as best I can, but I don't have a 5 million person viewership or corporate funding or backing or anything like that, and never will, talking the way we talk. but that's just the way it's going to be. But we try to be as honest as we can be here. Just tell you what we think, and you know, let the chips land where they may. And you know, so everybody be careful out there. With that, everybody, remember, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry.
Subscribe to Last Minute Man. Watch us on
Rumble